A message to Lightworkers. This week's guidance from the Ascended Masters, Galactics, Earth Elementals, Fairy Elders, Angels, and Archangels known as the Collective. Greetings, way showers and light bearers. We are pleased to have this moment to speak with you today. And we note that many of you are increasingly flowing in the current of these new higher energies in ways unexpected, and even unasked for, on a conscious level. And so this can mean not only a change of residence, or of job or location, or change of emotional response to one issue or another. It can mean new forms of awareness, and new forms of comprehension, of integrating information that comes not to your eyes or ears, but from that which you intuitively feel, higher self messages, and spontaneous energy readings. You may be listening to a news report, and inwardly feel the energy of the person speaking, and know that this person has been either freed on a whole new level to answer questions far more openly and honestly than they would have even 6 months ago, or led to obfuscate and avoid the truth, in ways that increasingly condemn their actions or the actions of those they represent. The ones considered safe hiding places for those with dark secrets and lies to harbor, are now very few indeed, and what few remain are fast disappearing in the light now resonating powerfully on the planet. You yourselves have anchored this light, have declared it Earth's new reality. Hence the opposition you have felt throughout your lives, a resistance pushing against much of your own life energy. In all probability, you were not the one heralded in your family as the ideal son or daughter, nor considered the perfect student who always did as they were told and produced output exactly as required. Nor have you been the perfect employee who automatically and easily bowed to every requirement. Though there has been a powerful effort to mechanize human thought and behavior, your presence has kept that from taking root in ways that would have otherwise set Earth on a timeline of increasing obedience to AI and other forms of false manufactured intelligence and usurpation of human free will. You stand not for the third-dimensional status quo, but for nature, for the trees, the air, the water, fire, and soil. You stand for joy, for self-expression, honesty and truth as you see it, and the inwardly driven, creative impulse. And you stand for love, for giving as well as receiving preferably in equal amounts, for self-love as well as compassion for others, for self-respect, as well as reverence for all living things. You stand for respect and love for even that on the earth which does not seem to have a consciousness, such as rocks, air, and soil, yet which holds powerful awareness and wisdom, which you felt instinctively as a small child, and drew on in many past lives as an indigenous person. When you speak admiringly of shamans, of energy healers, of inspiring speakers or musicians, you speak of your own beautiful abilities and shining aspects. We would not even begin to describe only certain persons as gifted or highly capable as if the rest of you were not equally brilliant, each in his or her own way. And now as part of that brilliance, you come into, remember and reclaim, your ability to see through the veil and to read the energy of any situation that comes to you. This includes the effects of the life changes, transitions, and transmutations that you have called forth with your own growing consciousness, your own inner alchemy. It has been easy for human beings, for thousands of years, to look at the outer situations of their lives and to decide, I've been dealt a rough hand. Yet more and more now, your awareness of how energy works, and how you yourself direct energy into outer reality, thought plus emotion, as well as the etheric influences moving in and around you, increasingly end that tendency. You are in fact coming into a time of autonomy and self-directed understanding that you are never victims, never slaves or puppets, so long as you are able to discern the influences of thought, energy, and action taking place in and around you. And how do you come to that moment, you may ask? For one, you do not view things as happening to you. You see them as simply occurring as part of the landscape. You observe all events and conditions without judgment. If you feel intuitively that the vibration of any situation is far lower than it need be, you simply inquire of your higher self and guides, how do I raise the vibration of this situation, first with my thoughts and feelings about it, and then with any energy work or outer action that might be needed? You don't. In other words, leap straight into outer action, as if that were the cure-all for every situation. You might compare the current chaotic state of much of the world as similar to an illness. The first thing you would do, in that situation, is get a well-qualified opinion or two, preferably holistic ones, as to what the situation was. You would then sit or lie quietly, resting your inner and outer resources, calming and centering your outlook, and check in with your higher self regarding the best course of action, inner or outer, to assist in healing or simply raising the overall vibration of that condition. You might then feel led to meditation, or to outer forms of remedy or assistance, or both. But you would not first race to outer solutions before you had checked in inwardly to see what is really occurring, and what is best for you in that situation. The people you see who are still lying to the television cameras, and to their friends and colleagues, and to themselves, are fighting the wave of energy on the planet that informs all living beings that their own inner life is a microcosm of the universe, and all remedies and healings that exist within it. They are wanting to continue as if the old norms were still in place, as if outer action will cover their inner inertia or dense, tumultuous energies indefinitely. We assure you, they will not. They cannot. The truth of all situations is coming forward now on all levels, and if you are to feel fully empowered, calm, and centered in your own life, you will no longer take seriously the outer appearances that have frightened and controlled human consciousness for many thousands of years. Your first and most deeply experienced reality will always be the inner one. This is why we celebrate with you those newer forms of awareness that have now come to the forefront of your everyday thought and realization. Welcome them, for they are indicative of your becoming, more and more every day, that powerful and empowering higher self-presence that the earth has cried out for millennia. And now, you have arrived, and are assisting her daily with your very presence. For this and all else, we thank you. We thank you for your bravery in coming forward at this time, for your patience as you await Nasara and other breakthrough moments in human life, and for your love of Earth life itself. Namaste, dear ones. We are with you, always. For you are one of us. Channeled by Caroline Oceana Ryan.